square off against their rivals from the NFC. I'll be back at halftime, but first let's get you downtown to Camping World Stadium. Standing by our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Straight ahead, bragging rights on the line in the 46th meeting of the AFC and the NFC in the 2019 NFL Pro Bowl game. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden, and Charles, it's the Pro Bowl. You never really know what to expect, so I guess I'll ask you, what do you expect?
Well, in recent years, it has turned into an absolute offensive explosion, hasn't it? Games in the 50s are not out of line. What you're hoping is that some of these great defenders have a chance to adjust and react and maybe narrow that down a little bit. But I will say, this game is tilted heavily towards the offense's advantage.
All set to go now from Orlando. The 2019 NFL Pro Bowl is underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out comes the NFC for their opening drive. Quarterback, you may have heard of him. From Purdue, it's Drew Brees.
And when you think of Drew Brees, you think of production and you think of competitiveness. That guy competes on every snap, whether he's throwing it, moving around in the pocket, calling plays, you name it, he knows how to rally a team.
Here's a carry for Saquon Barkley and the Giants. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Here's Brees to throw. And complete to Zach Ertz. 7 yards there and a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Working from the gun, it's Brees. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
They'll run with the Rams' Todd Gurley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
95-56, 95-56.
From the gun on 3rd down, Brees. And the throw there going to be incomplete. That's a pretty good opening possession defensively.
And you know the goal is to make something of a statement, especially on the road with your first defensive possession, isn't it? Go right out and establish yourselves and let them know this is going to be tough going all game long.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Back deep for the AFC, the Jets' Andre Roberts. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. So here comes the AFC for their opening drive. Leading this unit will be the big arm man out of Texas Tech. 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll run it here with the Chargers' Melvin Gordon. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
They'll line up on 2nd and 4. Here's a carry for James Conner of the Steelers. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. The starting unit for the AFC, definite Pittsburgh connection on that offensive line. 3 Steelers in Villanueva, Pouncey, and DeCastro. Also in that starting group, Quentin Nelson, the rookie from Indy at left guard, and the Titans' Taylor Lewan, selected to his 3rd straight Pro Bowl at right tackle. He'll try and run forward with Conner. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Well, so much for picking it up on the ground on 3rd down. 3rd play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them early, because they've now set the tone. They've set a precedent right here. If you're going to try and run the ball against us, it could be hard going throughout this game.
On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. For the NFC, boy, you talk about a dynamic set of backs and receivers. We'll see Zeke later on, but Saquon Barkley, Todd Gurley, they're your starters. That's 1, 2, 3 in the NFL in rushing last year. And then how about out wide? Julio Jones, Michael Thomas, Zach Ertz leading a deep group. Weapons galore for Drew Brees and the other NFC QBs. Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And he's upended at the 6 as they double their room to maneuver on a pickup of 3. The starting defense now for the AFC.
And as expected, there's speed and talent everywhere you look on this Pro Bowl roster. Let's keep an eye on the secondary because they're going to be tested in a big way. It's the Pro Bowl. Not many running plays. The ball will be in the air on almost every snap. Fortunately for them, roster full of cornerbacks who are used to playing on an island.
Ready? Yellow lady, yellow lady. Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
Shotgun now for Brees. He completes it to Julio Jones. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the 1st down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the AFC will take over 1st and 10. Back out is the AFC offense. Well, we can continue to talk Pro Bowl as we go along, but let's talk a little Super Bowl. Super Bowl 53, 1 week from today over in Atlanta, New England taking on the Rams. Time for your Super Bowl prediction, CD. What do you think?
Well, everyone thinks defense when they think the New England Patriots, but in the time that they've had their head coach and their quarterback Tom Brady, Guess what? They're the number 1 offensive team in the NFL. And you know the Rams are high flyers as well. So that tells me that this Super Bowl, low scoring. It's going to be a total anomaly. I'm thinking somewhere in the neighborhood of 13-10 final score, going totally opposite what it should be.
Well, I'm going to completely disagree. I see high scoring, maybe 51-44, something like that. The two punters, Johnny Hecker and Ryan Allen, don't even show up to this one.
Johnny Hecker might throw a touchdown pass because you know the Rams like to fake it when he's on the field.
Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Khalil Mack. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Khalil Mack picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Here's Brett Kern now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Here comes Cohen. Fights loose. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the NFC will take over 1st and 10. Here's the NFC offense set to take over again. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our...
There he goes, left side. Touchdown. Saquon Barkley, 74 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. So the NFC with our first touchdown of the game, and of course we'll probably see some offense in this one. I don't know, though, that we'll see what we saw in 2013 when the NFC posted 62 points.
You talk about pyrotechnics. That was crazy, even for a Pro Bowl. 62 points. I think you wore out your voice in that one, talking about all the touchdowns that were scored.
I would love to see 63 or more, though, I got to tell you. All about offense in this thing.
Pro Bowl offense. Let's go.
Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. His kick is good, and the NFC goes up 7-0. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The AFC offense making their way back out. This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Quick throw into the hands of Hopkins out wide. just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Me and you all day. I'm coming after you.
On 2nd and 9, Mahomes, and he's got the hook up to Landry. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
It's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and 4.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. Working from the gun, Mahomes trying to lay one up deep, and that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for the AFC. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the NFC will take over deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The offense for the NFC back out there. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the left. That's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the... Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. From the gun, it's Brees. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Brees. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. It's a gain of 7, and it's a 2nd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Brees, a quick throw out to Thomas. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. A tackle behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down. Brees now. And that will be incomplete. I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but maybe circle this play, because if they get the stop and hold them to a field goal here, that's a pretty good job. They're already down on the scoreboard.
A stop now would be vital for them, because it could save them from having to do it multiple times later in the game in order to either get back into it or maybe have a chance to win.
A 53-yard attempt.
And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And the lead moves to 10-zip. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The AFC offensive unit getting set to take over. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 24-yard line.
On 2nd and 9, Mahomes nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That's Luke Kuechly with a sack.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And it's complete to Kelsey. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Now here's Mahomes. It's complete to Hopkins. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible. Hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And this will move the sticks yet again as the tackle's going to be made at the NFC's 39. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Mahomes now to throw. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double-team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Connor on first down, not going to get a whole lot. Maybe a couple. Second down coming up. Eddie Jackson with a tackle.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
It's just me and you. It's just me.
They'll keep it on the ground. This time it's Gordon. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8. Throwing now is Mahomes. He is going to find Hill here. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
This will be their first trip to the red zone. They've got it 1st and goal to go.
They're running it.
They'll run here with Connor. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Now Mahomes. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. He's at the 50. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line. I tell you what, credit is due there on them preventing the touchdown after that interception.
How about him chasing him down and not giving up the pick 6? Because what happens a lot of the time is when you see the interception, you just kind of hang your head a little bit and you momentarily pause because you're frustrated. He shook that off and gave great chase and got it done.
Still a great return and very good field position. The NFC offense heading back onto the field. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10.
Ready? Yellow lady, yellow lady. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
So after the INT, it's Brees. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot, able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
Brees now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Brees going to throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Xavier Howard with a good coverage that time as he was there and knocked it away. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. On the draw, this is Barkley. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
The numbers for the NFC on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
Yeah, and on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. Rosa's kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Patrick Mahomes and the AFC ready to go on offense. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground. But that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Mahomes going to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To throw, it's Mahomes. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Here's Brett Kern now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. And our attention shifts to Todd Gurley. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player, as well as a physical specimen.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
It's got to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
Open man is Michael Thomas. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Brees to his Saints teammate Thomas for the NFC first.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Brees. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Getting the sack, the big D tackle, Geno Atkins. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now Brees. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 12.
The numbers for the NFC on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. Shotgun now for Brees. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for the NFC. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Here's James Conner now as he trots back onto the field. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. Here's Mahomes to throw. And his throw here is is incomplete. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. But it'll be second down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
I hope you brought your refs because I'm about to take you to school.
They'll give it to Gordon out of the shotgun. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
That's a gain of 3. It's 3rd and 7.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That one a 14-yard play, and it keeps this drive moving.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. His 3rd sack of the afternoon. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. From midfield, here's Mahomes. Looking downfield for Kelsey. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Have to give a lot of credit to the defense on that play. They were prepared. Ordinarily, when they take the big shot downfield to the big guy, that's usually a mismatch that the offense is used to winning. But the preparation showed for the defense, and they were able to bat it away.
On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. That one complete to Hill. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he will score. Touchdown AFC. Tyreek Hill, 50 yards. As they are now on the board here in the first half. That's what we want right there, CD. It's a Pro Bowl. Give us some of these long touchdowns.
We want plays that cover a lot of ground. We want long-distance plays, whether long-distance runs, long-distance passes. It doesn't matter. In the Pro Bowl, big plays are what we're all looking for.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And that'll make it 13-7. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it ends with an AFC touchdown. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a 1-score, 6-point game. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Getting set to go again on offense. We get a peek at Julio Jones now. Second quarter here. He has only one catch, but they have the lead. You got to think there's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open up a little bit more as the game goes on.
Well, so far, just the single catch. With his size coming out of the backfield, usually takes more than an arm tackle to get him down. That's why they like to get him involved in the passing game.
No doubt about it. You saw him running that angle route there and catching the ball. And with his size, not often thought to have hands, but we're hearing that more and more. Guys are doing a better job of catching the ball at any size coming out of the backfield because they need to be a full part of the offense.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
Complete to Jones. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 4th down.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been terrific so far. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up.
2nd and 4. And that's incomplete. It was the veteran safety Malcolm Jenkins who got a hand in there to disrupt it.
Sometimes it looks pretty simple, batting the ball away, but oftentimes there's some pretty good teaching and practice that goes into it. Being able to get to the receiver, not interfere, and get his hands through the football and knock it away.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. This is Gordon on the dump off. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that.
Just for baseball, we call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the 1st down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
Here's Brett Kern now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's in his own 2nd quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
Ready? You ready?
On first down, Brees. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. A gain of 6 there on first.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 33-yard line.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Brees now to throw. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
They've looked his way quite a bit, and in my estimation, as well they should.
So that's now 5 catches in this first half alone.
And he picks up another first down. He's been an important part of their offense here early.
On first down, it's Gurley. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Ready? Yellow lady? Get ready, get ready, get ready. Check your heart rate. Ready, check.
Here's Gurley. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
The numbers for the NFC on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. To throw, it's Brees. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for the NFC. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Back out is the AFC offense, and they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now here's Mahomes, and he's got the hook up to Landry. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Mahomes now to throw. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
Here's Brett Kern now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now let's discuss Julio Jones. They've got the lead. They haven't really had to utilize him all that much so far, but I guess if you're winning on the scoreboard, not too much to complain about.
Not at all, but you know those guys out wide. They want as many catches as they can possibly get. They may need him later on if things get a little tighter.
Yeah, so far 2 catches. We'll see what happens here as the game progresses. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Spins past it. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything, so it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
The numbers for the NFC on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion and 8 tries. Not good. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. I don't think Gurley got there. Looks like the defense held him back. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for the NFC. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The AFC offense making their way back out. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that can put your team in some jeopardy?
They begin on the ground here with Connor, and he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Looking to throw is Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
That's good for an AFC first down. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
Mahomes now on first down. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 more there and another first down.
AFC first down. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Mahomes now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. On the delayed handoff, this is Gordon. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis in his first half of action. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he cannot get rid of it. The NFC getting in there for the sack. Now the NFC going to call the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for the AFC. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. Now, if you're a fan of punting, this game's for you. He's been out there quite a bit. That one maybe his best yet.
Yeah, he certainly got his leg loose by now. It kind of reminds me of my college football coach, John Majors. He loved the punting game because he liked the positioning, the field position, and he loved to play defense.
Good penny. Yellow lady, yellow lady.
They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a gain.
Ready? You ready? Right there, 55. I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
On 2nd down and 4. Brees, Ertz over the middle. Now the NFC going to take a timeout, their 2nd, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Brees. This is complete to Michael Thomas. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, not at all. It came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag. Completed it very well.
Ready? 5'9". 55. I'm here.
Brees now on 1st down. We'll get this out to Barkley, complete. Breaks through the contact. Another nice gain, 16 yards there at a 1st down again.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there. Get into their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Again, they'll throw with Brees. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he will score. Touchdown, NFC. Zach Ertz, as the first half is winding down. And the NFC able to widen their advantage. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
Rosas now to add the PAT. And the lead is now 13. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's finished off by an NFC touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The AFC offensive unit getting set to take over. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
Mahomes now on first down. Caught by Allen. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Mahomes going to throw. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Final shot before the half from Mahomes. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So we've reached halftime of the 2019 Pro Bowl with the NFC on top. As we'll send you crosstown to our studios here in Orlando and check in with the coach at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you got to expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
The AFC offense now set to start this third quarter.
They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is I'm
doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Now a throw for the All-Pro Kelsey is complete. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run.
Here we go.
Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Let's make these babies cry.
Here's Mahomes to throw. Sets up the screen to Gordon. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
When you run a screen, look of it, because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Yellow. So don't say nothing.
Now Gordon on 1st down. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Unfortunately for you, you've been around me for a little while now, so you know me as well as anyone and how I look at a game. I don't ever advocate abandoning anything, but in this case, I'm going against my own thought process. You got to change it up. You got to start throwing it around a little bit, finding ways to try and move the ball, because keeping on the ground just isn't working for them.
Yeah, maybe get him the ball out of the passing game, a swing pass outside or something, just something to vary it up. On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
That's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 8.
And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28.
Aaron Donald with a sack.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Jason Myers now for the AFC field goal. This from 44 yards out, left hash. Myers' kick is good. And that cuts into the deficit. It's now 20-10. So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now the NFC heading out for their first drive of the second half. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. And let's see who's faster.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Brees, a quick throw out to Thomas. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
Mike, ready? Yellow lady.
Coming this way, here we go.
Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. Now they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now Brees on 3rd down. And the pressure gets to Brees as he's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. And, partner, it's safe to say that the secondary really contributed to that sack.
Yeah, nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They covered everything. Nowhere to go with the football. But my question is, why didn't he throw it away?
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for the NFC.
Let's go, baby.
Time now for Patrick Mahomes as we put him in our players' spotlight. He's been pretty good when he's had time. The issue is, as we see here, a lot of times he hasn't had the time.
And a lot of that in getting past it is attitude. How's he projecting? Is he showing that the other team is getting to him? Is he showing his guys up front that he's upset, that he's angry, or is he still encouraging? Because those guys, they've got to find a way to pick it up, and it always happens a little bit better if they feel like their quarterback's on their side.
So far, 5 sacks against him. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
A good solid game there on 1st down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
On 2nd down now, it's Connor. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. A gain of 13, it's a 1st down.
1st downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. So that last play gives them a little more space now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. Working from the gun, Mahomes into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller, and they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Here's the NFC offense set to take over again. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
And some room to work. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Get in the weight room.
On 1st and goal, Gurley. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll run. It's Ezekiel Elliott of the Cowboys. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And that's picked up by the AFC. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but that's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
Instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. Back out is the AFC offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Out routes are always timing routes, and if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he let him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. On 2nd down, it's Connor, and he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting him to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. When they need to play on 3rd down, you kind of know what direction the ball's going, but the defense knew it too.
Yeah, it's a good call because they wanted to put 2 men on him, and they did. Dare him to throw into double coverage. Really what you're beat us.
Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for the AFC. Gets around him. Ooh, with a juke. A 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The offense for the NFC back out there. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time. Fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we're going to put some points up and have a little momentum going. They've got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go,
short-term memory,
and move on to the next series. Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves him needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
From the gun on 3rd down, Brees. And the pressure gets to Brees as he's taken down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett.
All right, partner, count with me. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Look, he had all day to throw the football and never got rid of it and allowed for the sack. That's not on the offensive line.
Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
The AFC offense set to take their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just went. Now the ball comes loose, and it's scooped up by the NFC. And it won't count for 6. He's brought down, but inside the 5, 1st and goal at the 4-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
The NFC offense heading back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
On 2nd and goal, Brees, and that's going to be caught. Touchdown NFC. Zach Ertz, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the NFC able to use the short field as they cash in for 6. What a great weapon. So often, such a big mismatch.
And there's no route he can't run. You name it, he's going to do it, and he's a matchup nightmare for the defense. No matter who they put on him, he's going to win the battle.
Rosas to add the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The AFC offense making their way back out. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Rabbit. He's coming.
Throwing now is Mahomes. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Mahomes now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Mahomes. For Keenan Allen, that's complete. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Mahomes now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10 is Counter. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Make it now 3 tackles for a loss in this game, 1 for each quarter.
And for a guy who played defense in college, I can just tell you that he's feeling very satisfied right now by what he's doing. But he's elated because he knows what he's doing is helping his team win the game right now. Making some big-time plays, getting into the offense's backfield, and spilling everything.
On 2nd and 11 now. Mahomes. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Let's get that ball here. Let's get that ball right here.
To throw, it's Mahomes. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really turning in an incredible performance. Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for the AFC. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it. Now, if you're a fan of punting, this game's for you. He's been out there quite a bit. That one maybe his best yet.
Yeah, he certainly got his leg loose by now. It kind of reminds me of my college football coach, John Majors. He loved the punting game because he liked the positioning, the field position, and he loved to play defense.
Ready. Yellow waiting. Yellow waiting. We're pretty quiet, team. We're pretty quiet. Watch twist. Watch twist.
Gurley. They'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
And now he'll tuck it and run. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a third down.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has an altar when he does.
On 3rd down, they'll run it with Gurley. And he'll be brought down shy of the first down marker at the 11. It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up 4th down. But just like you said, they've got the lead, don't do anything silly, run the football, and that's what they did.
They would have liked to have created a little more room for their punter, but he'll take what they gave him, and he'll go out there now and try and get the ball off and help his defense.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for the NFC. To return is Roberts. That one in the books as a 64-yard punt. And the AFC will take over 1st and 10. The AFC deficit. You can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
He's been one of their few bright spots here this afternoon.
And as you pointed out, so far he's gotten his. That's not been the issue at all. But the teammates, the other guys, they've been shut down. That's why the defensive guys have to feel pretty good, even though he's over 100 yards.
Yeah, he topped 100 with that last catch.
Here we go.
Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
He hasn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Mahomes, and it's complete to Kelsey. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a 1st down. Mahomes to his KC teammate Kelsey for the AFC first.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Now here's Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground.
Mahomes pass. Complete to Travis Kelce. He's out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Back to the ground now with Gordon. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. They're having issues right now getting that running game going.
I wonder if maybe adopting some of the college run game would help here. Because we're still at that stage where you have a bunch of guys saying, I don't know about what the colleges do. And the college stuff is working in the NFL. Bigger line splits, create some more natural running lanes. Might help the offensive linemen get better angles in their blocking schemes.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. This is Gordon on the dump off. And they will rally and stop him short of the 1st down. They get him to the ground at the 26. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his first. Now this from 43. And Myers able to knock it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So he splits the uprights and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good 3-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Ready to begin their next drive here, the NFC offense. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Ready, yellow lady.
They fake the give. Here's Brees. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A good pickup there, 21 yards. He's played a great game that continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Brees now, 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half, 1st and 10. Brees now to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
I got you.
To throw is Brees. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
To the sideline and incomplete. He was defended by Jalen Ramsey.
Ready.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Again, it's Brees. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And that's going to move the sticks again here as the tackle's made at the AFC's 35. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Play action, Brees. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Bernardrick McKinney muscled his way in for the sack.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Now Brees. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people want to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. A 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. This to make it a 3-score game late. And the kick by Rosas is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down. But don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Back out is the AFC offense. And it's great to see the stars all out in one place, but in terms of football, what's really great to see is a very entertaining Pro Bowl as we are tied in the 4th quarter.
And how many of these guys thought going into this game, after a pretty easy week heading into it, that the pressure would ratchet up now and someone has to make a play, which means someone will have a play made against them and not have to live with that for the rest of the year.
This drive starting off on the right foot. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Three butts.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. Complete, the tight end, Kelsey. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
So 2nd in inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. Here's Mahomes to throw. It's complete to Hopkins. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
Mahomes firing complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards on the play.
First and 10 at the 18-yard line.
Mahomes will bring him up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
At the 17-yard line.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. They'll run here with Connor. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 6.
Yellow. Wait.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today.
A 31-yard attempt.
Myers' kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the NFC offense set to take over again. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
A good job defensively there on Gurley as they hold him to only a yard. It's second down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Ready, yellow lady. Watching your fire. I don't think you got it, sir. He's crossing.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
No surprise they decided to throw on third down. A little bit of a surprise that they completed the pass and lost yardage on the play.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for the NFC. Here now Roberts. That's a 49-yard punt, 8 though on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. Let's see here, Charles. 6 catches, over 100 yards. Call that a pretty good day at the office.
And I love the accumulation. The catches, the yardage. That means he's having a pretty good impact on this ball game and really helping his team out in a big way.
Means he wants the football again, right?
And it's funny because some of these receivers are very vocal about how much they're getting it. Others are quieter, but they still let you know, give me the ball, I'm going to make a play.
At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Now a throw for the All-Pro Kelsey is complete. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Dancing to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Yellow. Go on, Eddie. 54. Right, 54. Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field.
On first down, Mahomes. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Give the sack to Fletcher Cox.
There's a little bit of defense right there. Nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They just snuffed out every route that was going. Quarterback never got rid of the football.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Mahomes now to throw. The linebacker Bobby Wagner able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
And that one was knocked away, and I think the defenders are going to be a little upset with themselves. They made the play on the football, but that one felt like a forced pass by the quarterback. Thought he had someone open. He really wasn't. Maybe an example of having too much confidence in his receiver that no matter what, I'm going to throw it to him. And that was a play made by the defense, and it could have been a bigger one.
And this is Cook with a grab. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. Throwing now is Mahomes. And that is incomplete. The AFC went for it, and it doesn't work out. And the NFC is going to get the football back in excellent field position. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here. Give him credit for batting it away, but unable to come up with the interception. And sometimes that joke does come true. Guys are on defense for a reason. Maybe their hands aren't quite as skillful as the guys on offense. Get a lot of credit on that play for just knocking it away.
Back to the workhorse today. It's Gurley. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. A few chances as well.
Here comes a 20th carry for Gurley. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
That's caught. It's Thomas. And he will score. Touchdown, NFC. An 11-yard touchdown. And the NFC adds on to their lead. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, they had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Rosas good with the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Here we go.
The AFC offense making their way back out. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance.
Gordon loses the football. It's loose. And it's scooped up by the NFC. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. The offense for the NFC back out there. Well, these guys hardly got a chance to catch their breath after the quick turnover, but I doubt they're complaining much.
Especially with the field position they get to start with. I wouldn't be complaining either. I'd want to get right back out there and get after them, because now you have an opportunity to make a big play. I'd say let's be aggressive and go after him.
From the 31, Mahomes. He finds Hopkins complete. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And it's scooped up by the NFC. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
The NFC offense heading back onto the field. There have been no struggles here for this crew. I mean, they were up double digits at halftime, and they've just expanded that here in the second half.
And it appears there are no answers from the defensive side. I think right now, if I'm the coordinator, if I'm down on the field, if I'm wearing a hat, I've already thrown it. If it's a visor, it's sailed, right? My game plan is down by my feet right now because nothing I've drawn up appears to be working.
Well, he's going to have to find something right now to stop this offense. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They'll get 3 out of the dump-off there, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 11.
Ready. Yellow lady. 957. Pick it up.
Now Brees on 3rd down. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the 1st down marker. A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. On the left hash, officially, it's called a 51-yard attempt. And no, it doesn't get there.
Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it online, but it comes up about a rotation short. He had it online, gave it a pretty good ride too, but in the end, he's a victim of the crossbar.
And Brandon, you know kickers very well. I'll bet if we ask him after the game, he'll say he didn't get all of it. We've seen him hit from deeper than this in warm-ups. But here, he's a foot or so from clearing that bar.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Now Mahomes. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the AFC with the football as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. To throw again on 2nd down. Mahomes able to get this to Gordon. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down.
AFC, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Mahomes now on 1st down. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Khalil Mack in there to get him again. That is sack number 6, one off the NFL record of 7. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. To throw, it's Mahomes. And he's going to go down again. Now the AFC going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. He's going to win it, and that's caught inside the 30. They'll get 34 yards there. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one riffs, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are shredding them in this ball game.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now here's Mahomes. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner.
Well, you're trailing. It's the 4th quarter, and you've got to throw the football. But the defense knows this, too. So they're just going to sit back, bring in an extra defensive back or two, the old nickel or dime strategy, Brandon, and wait for you to put that bad boy up for grabs. And this one winds up being intercepted.
Here's the NFC offense set to take over again. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
So it's the NFC that comes away with a victory here in this Pro Bowl matchup. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody.